Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back again to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. And I was wearing blue. Blue is the colour. I'm probably wearing the wrong colour actually. I should be wearing red. But anyhow, we are live and direct from somewhere across the universe. We've got four parts of the whole. Yeah, 1/4, 2/4 makes a half, 3/4, 4/4, one whole picture over here. We've got some Granit Xhaka news, we've got some transfer news, we've got some Jorginho news, we've got Stan Kroenke news, and of course Mikel Arteta news on the top of this show on Cannon Fodder TV. Yeah, indeed. Welcome back again to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Welcome to the Wednesday show, actually, over here on Cannon Fodder TV. We've got four parts of the whole news, but what you can do right about now is just click the like button. It says it's somewhere down here. Just click the like button. Don't have to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe. But listen, we're grateful. Over 20,000 subscribers. Thank you for that. But I would like you just to click the like button, but also come in and give us your thoughts about some Granit Xhaka news, some serious news, the up and coming game against Brighton. Is it Brighton? It is Brighton. And some other bits and pieces that you might want to get off your chest on this Wednesday evening show over here on Cannon 40 TV. But without further ado, let's get into this one. Yeah, what can I say? This is a long one actually, a quite long-winded one. Mikel Arteta set to deny Arsenal stars wish, despite Stan Kroenke's business deal. Now Arsenal are primed for a business summer as Mikel Arteta's side make their return to the Champions League. That is no doubt. We are back in the Champions League after a 6-year hiatus. Now Arteta, working with Arsenal's sporting director, has skillfully exploited the transfer market to turn the Gunners back into the Premier League title contenders. With all eyes will be firmly set on bringing silverware back to the Emirates. Well, the Premier League for the first time, actually, to the Emirates. And while Arsenal will look to repeat successful signings such as Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko, exits are also on the horizon for several players as Arteta continues to rebuild the squad. There's a particular player called Trusty, age 24, signed for Arsenal back in January 2022. An impressive debut campaigning with Colorado Rapids, who are also owned by Stan Kroenke, the Gunners' owner. The move was part of a plan by the American billionaire to create a clear pathway between their franchise and expand Arsenal scouting operations in North America. Yes. Do you believe that? Well, anyway, I just put every other team to one side and focus on them. Trusty told Goal about the role Arsenal Stan Kroenke and his company played in the transfer. I'm sure it definitely helped that Kroenkes were there. If there is that relationship there, you definitely want to take advantage of it. If that makes things smoother, it's a business deal, so there's a lot of friction that goes on. If you can limit the amount of friction, then why not? Now, Trusty was loaned back to the Colorado Rapids to continue playing for MLS last year, making his final appearance in July before linking up with Birmingham. Hasn't played for Arsenal just yet. The centre back became a fan favourite with a Championship club crowned as supporters' player of the season last week. It couldn't have gone better, Trusted to Birmingham Live. Obviously, if we had done better in the table and better in the season, that would have put us the ice on the cake. But to have this year with Birmingham City, with the team, with the fans and the whole organisation, well, he said it's my first year over here in Europe and first time alone, but I didn't come here thinking this is just for the season. I came here thinking I want to make my mark on an organisation. I came here and I'm here. And I'm thankful that I have been perceived this way by the fans. It's been really, really awesome. So you can see actually what the Kroenkes and Edu are thinking. Again, the other teams at the MLS that are owned by Stan Kroenke, he's trying to lead a pathway from those clubs here into Europe and eventually play for Arsenal some way. I mean, yeah, MLS is not comparable to any of the leagues, much less the Premier League. But if that's what they're looking for, Players come in, playing for MLS, and then been loaned out in Europe, and eventually are pathway to Arsenal. I don't know how that's going to work out, man. Really, I've got no idea how that one's going to work out. But that long-winded news segment there, Stan Kroenke, yeah, KSE, not KFC, KSC, leading a pathway for players, MLS, then come play Europe, and then eventually play at Arsenal. Someone's making some big bucks somewhere. Anyhow, the second news segment, I think for me, I'm happy to hear this news segment. Dennis Bergkamp, his birthday. It's his birthday. A little, Renaissance man. Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp. Yeah, born this day, 10th of May, 1969. I'm not gonna. You need to do the maths. I'm not going to do the maths. You do the maths. Yeah, as we know, he was the son of an electrician. Bergkamp was born in Amsterdam and played as an amateur in the lower leagues. He was spotted by Ajax at the age of 10 and made his professional debut in 1986. Prolific form led to an international call-up over the Netherlands, and a year later, attracting the attention of several European clubs. Bergkamp signed for Italian club, excuse me, Inter Milan in 1993, where he had two underwhelming seasons after joining Arsenal in 1995, and the rest, as they say, is history. The non-flying Dutchman, for my earliest memory, was probably the only player, apart from Liam Brady, who I did not want him to leave Arsenal. I wanted to play for Arsenal until the age of 60. He's still got some time to go. But anyway, from us, Canal 4 TV, to Dennis Bergkamp, happy birthday to you, fella. I wish you were, I want to say, a manager of Arsenal. I don't want any of the legend players managing Arsenal. Patrick Vieira, no, stay well away. Yeah, but Dennis Bergkamp, if you could only be part of the setup at Arsenal, I'm not saying a coach. Coach, yeah, maybe a coach, but not manager. Not manager. But anyhow, from Canal 4 TV to the Iceman, the non-flying Dutchman, Dennis Bergkamp, happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. It's your birthday. I haven't forgotten because it's your birthday. All right, and then the next segment is quite it's hit a note with me anyway, at least. Now I had to kind of research this one as best as I could, but apparently the headline from Daily Mirror is Arsenal star Granit Xhaka could be sold this summer as his wife wants to leave England. Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka could leave the club this summer following the latest reports. His career looks to be back on the ropes. Yeah, 2019. Recent reports that his wife wants to leave the capital, London, the UK. I don't know. Well, Declan Rice has emerged as an Arsenal priority target, but his arrival could have a significant impact on whether Granit Xhaka stays or goes. Yeah, I don't know. Xhaka to leave Arsenal. Xhaka's wife, who he met during his playing days at Borussia Mönchengladbach, has been wanting to return to the Rhineland for a long time, according to the German outlet Kicker. As a result, Xhaka could return to the Bundesliga after 7 years in the Premier League, with Bayer Leverkusen reportedly monitoring the situation. Leverkusen boss Xabi Alonso is desperate to sign him, claimed the Daily Mirror that is, while the Sun state that Arteta will not stand in his way if he does want to leave Arsenal. Now, indeed, Xhaka's potential departure could play into Arteta's hands, with the Spaniard eager to sign Leverkusen's winger Moussa Diaby. I'll get into that in a little bit later on. But the German side are allegedly open to a player plus cash deal, with Xhaka expected to cost in the regions of £13 million this summer. Actually, I've heard that it's more like, I don't know, towards £20 million, which I think is probably a bit of a stretch, actually. Yeah, age 30, 31, I think Granit Xhaka is. But what I was thinking is that my wife is South American. She's from Colombia, and I know she's been pining for her family. I mean, she's been back over the last 3 or 4 years, every year since, and I think last year she went twice. But if my wife said, Alex, I wanna let's up sticks and go back. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Granit Xhaka gives all this steely exterior, but I'm thinking inside this there is some soft centre. He's human. He's human at the end of the day. You know what I mean? All the players are human beings. They're not robots playing for Arsenal. No, there's no robots playing for Arsenal. No androids playing for Arsenal. But yeah, I think if the story is true, that Granit Xhaka's wife has said, you know what, I actually want to leave London. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, you know that I'm not his biggest fan, but that aside, the human element, if his wife is saying, actually, I want to leave the capital, I want us to go back to Germany, that's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, let's go on to the last segment. And last segment is in regards to Paul Merson's thoughts about this player here. Has to start in the lineup. Paul Merson has urged Mikel Arteta to put Arsenal midfielder Jorginho in the starting 11 right up until the end of the season. Jorginho has impressed over the past couple of games and helped Arsenal keep their title hopes alive. The 31-year-old replaced Thomas Partey in the starting lineup after the Ghanaian has struggled for form, and I completely agree. You cannot continue playing players who have been failing you. Just ask Arsene Wenger. Anyway, Arsenal brought Jorginho from Chelsea for a fee of £12 million in January, and he was expected to play a backup role to Partey, but it's been a role reversal. Paul Merson has told Sky Sports that Jorginho must become a first-choice starter from here on out. He went on to say, I think Mikel Arteta will have learnt lessons from that last month. Looking back, Jorginho should have started against Southampton. It was a game Arsenal simply had to win, not by 7 or 8 goals, just win. Now, I know in hindsight it's crystal clear, but Jorginho was brought in for a reason. I think he would have helped keep things tight, ensure Southampton didn't score, and then created chances. I was shocked Fabio Vieira, who has not had a great season, played ahead of Jorginho, and Arsenal went on to draw that game. Now, Jorginho managed a game. People say he cannot run, but you don't have to run. His brain is quick. You're better off having a quick brain than quick legs. You know what the best skills in football is? It isn't stepovers or flicks. Funny enough, it's finding your teammates with the ball. That's very good, Paul Merson. It's an unbelievable skill that often goes under the radar. Everyone wants to see players beating 7 defenders and scoring amazing solo goals. But the best skill is passing the ball successfully. Don't talk to me about ballers. Oh, that sounds familiar, man. Don't talk to me about ballers. It's all about keeping the ball, looking after the ball, passing and moving. Jorginho was man of the match at Newcastle because he did just that. What he did won't be on social media. Kids won't be watching that. There won't be clips because what he does goes under the radar. For me, Jorginho has to play for Arsenal. They have got the ammunition up front. We have seen that. Martinelli and Saka have delivered, whereas Jorginho brings brilliance and balance. Actually, I put in that word, brilliance. He actually said balance. Now, Arsenal have dramatically improved since Jorginho was introduced to the starting lineup, and he was man of the match. The 2-0 win over Newcastle on Sunday. It seems like he will keep his place in the side until the end of the campaign now. But yeah, Paul Merson, I think he is spot on. Spot on. Again, you want players who are not performing, who are off form, drop them. You've got to drop them. But just make sure you've got other players who can step into their place, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that is it. Or these have been the new segments, 4 parts of the whole on this evening show on Wednesday. I can't wait for the week to finish, man. Can't wait for the week to finish. Because I'm going to be joined by some super people who've travelled a long way, not only to see me, but to see Arsenal play. So they're going to be travelling around, the UK, as well as coming to see yours truly. But I can't wait on Friday. Can't wait. Can't wait. Anyhow, I would like you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, come into the live chats. Yeah, been talking about Granit Xhaka, Jorginho, Arteta, Stan Kroenke, MLS, and some other bits and pieces. Come into the live chat. Let me know your thoughts about all those topics and then some, please. But also, don't forget to click the like button. You do not have to subscribe. Please. don't subscribe. Be part of our community over here, which means you don't really have to subscribe. You don't have to. You don't have to. But if you want to, it's okay. Alrighty, let's go on our Twitter feed and see if there's been any comments thus far. Any comments? No, no comments. No, 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 no comments. No, no. Okay, fair enough. Not even one comment. Goodness. All right. Okay. And we did do a poll that seems to have annoyed some people, and some have said, "Well, this is my opinion. I believe that." I said, "Okay, fair enough. What are you getting upset for? It's only a poll. It's only a questionnaire." So the question was, Declan Rice for Thomas Partey. Now, I know a lot of you are sticklers for Thomas Partey, and that's fine. On the other hand, there are a lot of people who would like to see a Declan Rice come on side for Arsenal, but not for £150 million. Not even for £120 million. Maybe £80, £90 million, but not for £150 million. And not for £120 million. Anyhow, Declan Rice for Thomas Partey, 867 votes, 13 comments, which bleeds me eye. There's probably one or two comments I've not responded to. 25 likes. Let's get those likes up. Come on, 50 likes. Declan Rice for Thomas Partey, choose only one. 37% of you said no. And 63 said yes. I'm on the 63 percenters, but not for £120 million. All right. Let's go into the live chat and see who has joined us on this show over here on Cannon Fodder TV. Now, Ashley D has said, hey up, Gunners, and hey up to you. Actually, hope you're keeping well, my friend. And then we've got my brother from another mother, Gunnar Matters. Guys, go over and subscribe. I have not left the link in the description box, but go into YouTube, Gunnar Matters, and make sure that you do subscribe. Hey, Mr. Cronky, aka... Oh, excuse me. Hey, Glenn, behave yourself, man. You're calling me Cronky. Anyhow, how is you doing, Squire? Yeah. It's just been one of those days. It's been one of those weeks, actually. But we've got to overcome those moments there. Go onwards and upwards, as my good friend James would say, and just keep going forward. Never give up, never give in. But it has been one of those weeks. Just to think, we had a national holiday on Monday. I was thinking, oh my goodness, only 2 days. But how's yourself? I hope you're keeping well. Alex, question: are you quite happy about the X-Man? What's happened about the X-Man? What's happened? Is it about that there's a potential that he might be leaving? Like I said, Glenn, when the bigger picture is, and this is from a personal perspective, of course, that if it was my wife, I know literally we're not going to be staying in the UK forever. I'm hoping that we will both retire in a hot country. It won't be the UK. Definitely won't be the UK. And I know my wife has been pining. She's been a little bit nostalgic for her family, and she's been able to travel and see her family. Colombia, South America. But I'm looking at a Granit Xhaka. If the story is true, that his wife is now saying, you know what, I want to leave the capital, London, and go back to Germany, that's tough, man. That's tough. And I'm not, I'm even saying this from a humanist point of view. I'm not his biggest fan. But credit where credit's due. He's been performing quite well. Still can't tackle. But that's a tough one. If your wife is saying to you, do you know what? Nah, I want us to go back to Germany. That's tough. I know Granit Xhaka gives it the big one, like he's like the main man, the hard man. But I get the feeling that somewhere inside, he's a bit of a softie. And I think if it's true again, the wife is saying, you know what, Granit, I want to go back. That's tough. So it's not anything about good news. Am I happy? I'm just looking at it from the perspective, from my own experience, that I know my wife she's not from England. She's South American. And I know in a short future, we'll be looking to move and stay and live and retire in a warm, hot country. England and London is not a hot country. I'll just say that. Oh, sorry, just missed one there. You could argue there are what's that clones perhaps playing for. They're not androids. They're no robots playing for Arsenal. Claim and behave yourself. Good things comes to those who wait. Yes, and the addition to that, good things comes to those who wait, but make sure you don't wait too long. Yeah, we've got to make sure that we are the captains of our own ship. And I've always been the happiest when I have been running my own company. Since I've come back from to the UK because I was living in Central America, that's when I was happiest, having my own company, my own business, in a warm, lovely country. And then my father passed away in 2009, so I haven't been back since 2009. I mean, I've been to Colombia in 2018, but yeah. But just make sure you don't wait too long. Leona Kenny, good afternoon to you. I hope you is keeping well. Make sure that you do subscribe not only to me but to Good Matters as well. That he might believe. Oh right, that he might believe in. Yeah, again, yeah. What? Oh, behave yourself. I know you're not serious. Yeah, I get it. If my wife tells me now, let's move to London, I won't. All right. Okay. Moving swiftly on. Ajax, what about our other fringe players on loan, etc.? Keep or sell? Pep Nelson. Well, I think Reece Nelson, his contract is up at the end of the summer, and I get the impression that he might be leaving. Personally, I will keep him because, again, we don't have the numbers. Of course, we don't have the quality, and we definitely don't have the depth. So I will keep a Reece Nelson. The other player, yeah, Nico Pepe, we might have to have that conversation. Might have to have that conversation. Charlie Patino, he's decided that he wants to stay with yeah, Blackpool, isn't it? Blackpool. Good luck to them. But Tavares, if we're going to utilize him, use him as a wing back, not as a left back. The guy is not a left back. He is a wing back. Now I know there's been some disciplinary issues. Again, is a youngster, isn't he? You need to bring out that whip. You do as I say, or you're out. Who's the other player? Balogun. I would recall him and say to him, actually, all our strikers, going forward, a new season, prove your worth again. And they might say, well, we've already done it. No, just because you did it last season, that was last season. This is a new season. Prove yourself and your worth again. Now, I was listening to another podcast this afternoon whilst I was on my lunch, whilst I was just on my eating my chicken, my fried chicken. I was listening to this particular podcast. Actually, I'll mention it because they're part of our collaboration, the Back Five collaboration that will be coming soon. And Apollo gave his opinion, and he was saying that for him, he would recall Florian Balogun, give the guy a run of games, and see what happens from there. And if we're thinking about sending him for around a ballpark figure of £40 million. But Ralph, so to answer your question, as the squad numbers, the numbers are not there, and of course the quality is not there. Again, Pepe, we probably might have to have that conversation, and I'm thinking that Arteta's already made up his mind that Pepe, my opinion, that Pepe will no longer be an Arsenal player. What about yourself, Ralph? What about yourself? Nelson, I will keep, but again, he needs and wants a more first team play. Yeah, but he's done a relatively good job, hasn't he? I think scoring that wonder goal. But yeah. Tavares must fall in line under the authority, not get to the Orba. Yeah, that point there. But under this, don't want to use this word, but I'll use this word regime. Mikel Arteta's regime. If you fall foul, man, there's no coming back. Just ask Orba. Anyhow. Okay. We were running for just now 25 minutes. We're gonna run just for a few more minutes, and then we are out of here. Sorry, people. Okay, thank you for that. And that's the other player that Apollo spoke about, Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney. Got to stay injury free. Have to stay injury free, man. Um, Listen, I was a defender. Didn't play at the highest level of football, county level. I play as a defender. I love players who know how to defend. Show me that value, that you know how to defend. And attacking is just a plus. But show me you know the art of defending. And that's why I love Kieran Tierney. However, the negative is that he cannot stay injury free. Can't stay injury free. And we might say, hindsight is a wonderful thing. If only we had played Kieran Tierney instead of Zinchenko, we might have still been ahead. Maybe. But that's hindsight, isn't it? But I would keep Kieran Tierney. But does the player want to stay? Does he want to remain at Arsenal? I have to ask him that question. Oh, wait, Kieran, do you want to stay at Arsenal? I live in Ireland. I sourced Arsenal since 90s. I became Gunners. Oh, all right, okay. But Leon, let me know, ask. What's your thoughts about the running last three games? Now we're going to be playing against Brighton, and then Nottingham Forest, and then Wolves. And who's been your star player so far this season? You know how I feel about Zinchenko. Yes, I do know, but Tierney probably was not in the game too much to get. But look at the Southampton goal. Kieran Tierney would stop that. Yeah, yeah. Um, he would do that because his mindset is defend first and attack after. But where Zinchenko is attack first, forget about defending. I think that's somebody else. It's like he's behind me. He's not behind me. Where is he? He's just scored. You got to laugh, haven't you? You have to laugh. Oh, dearie me, man. All right. So let's have a look here. Someone just said, "What's this? What is this?" Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Okay. I can see if we've got any comments or any has been retweeted or anything like that. No, it hasn't. Right. So let me just quickly do this and just give you guys a just quick update on what's going to be happening from today and there on in. But I can't do it yet until. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, and can I get some other graphics up, please? Other graphics up, please. Right. Sorry about this, people. Sorry. 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 Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Whew. Right. So tomorrow, Thursday night football show with Ange, the first lady of California TV, and Emerson, I believe. It's going to be Brighton versus Arsenal ladies. As you can see, the Women's Super League. So check that out. It's going to be a 7:30 p.m. kickoff time for that. And then lo and behold, I can't believe it. On Sunday, my brother's doing a watch along. I can't believe it. Not for Bournemouth. I just had to quickly just get this one up there. But my brother's going to be doing a watch along. Yeah, for the Brighton game. Because it's like two London buses. You're waiting an age. Then all of a sudden they're coming twos and threes and fours and fives. And then I'm hoping that I'll be doing something on Friday. Actually, I can't say anything just yet. Can't say anything just yet. But I'm hoping, I'm excited to be meeting these people who've come a very, very long way to see me. No, not to only see me, but to see Arsenal play. But that's going to be happening on Friday. We're going to be doing an OB, an outside broadcast, live and direct, maybe from the Emirates, possibly from the Emirates, meet up with these wonderful people. And I believe that is it. That is it. Let's go through those last comments here before I wrap up this show here. Ah, Gunnar Matters, behave yourself, man. Yeah, Matoma on the cards will make Nelson's decisions easy. Oh, dear me. Glenwyn, your thoughts, and actually, whoever's watching now, your thoughts about the game on Sunday. Would you, because I spoke about Paul Merson. Paul Merson says that Jorginho has to start. For those last 3 games, he's got to start those games there. But I'm going to put the question out to you. Would you start a Jorginho, or do you think Thomas Partey has probably learned his lesson? So, Jorginho to play these last 3 games, or do we revert back to type and play a Thomas Partey? Ooh. Oh my goodness. Keep Tierney, Nelson, El Neni. Oh yeah, El Neni as well. I think he's back in full training. Sell Maitland-Niles, Tavares, Pepe. Give Balogun a chance. Marquinhos, who's actually out at Norwich. Lovely part of the world. East Anglia, very, very nice. Okay. Oh, we will win the last 3 games. I tell you what, we must win those last 3 games. Put the onus back on Man City. And by the way, I saw the game last night against Real Madrid. What a goal. I mean, both goals. Vinicius Jr., I think, oh my goodness. I mean, it just beat him for pace. And the position, I was thinking, well, could you not get across? I was thinking, no, he couldn't get across. There was no goalkeeper in the world going to save that. And you look at De Bruyne's goal, think, oh my goodness! But what a game! That was a really good game. Cat and mouse and drama. The referee, I was thinking, referee, you let a lot go, man. I was thinking, are you ever going to bring out the yellow card? That was like football of old, refereeing of old, man. And you know what? You studs up, elbow. That's not a yellow card. Keep playing, lads. Keep on, play on, play on. I was thinking, what? Anyway. Would love Matoma. Yes. Ask you. Yeah. I'm sure that he would love the setup at Arsenal. Big monies to get him. But yeah, I'll tell you what. The other player that Apollo spoke about was Declan Rice, Caicedo, and the guy who plays in. Well, he hardly ever plays. Is it Calvin Phillips? Calvin Phillips, yeah. Would you guys go for Calvin Phillips instead of Caicedo and Declan Rice? I mean, Phillips wouldn't cost that much. Hardly ever plays for Man City. He's just there as like not even a utility. He's like the backup of the backup of the backup. But would you play? Would you buy Mr. Phillips, Calvin Phillips, formerly of Leeds United? So yeah. So Apollo spoke about Caicedo, Declan Rice, yeah, and Phillips. Anyway. Let me go run through this quickly. I need to go and have my din-dins. I want my din-dins. Alex, I think Raz wants to get his Peter Jury. Me think so. Maybe send Vieira on loan too. Again, I'm looking at Charlie Patino, who to me they play similar. Charlie Patino, I know someone said no, they don't, but to me they play similar. Both left-sided players, midfielders. I'm thinking, if you really spent all that money on a Fabio Vieira, has failed, and then you loan out Charlie Patino, who's now said that what, I'm not coming back to Arsenal. Money not well spent. Anyhow. I agree. Georgina has to start until the end. Partey has to keep the bench warm, as it might just get too cold on the pitch. Oh dear. Afternoon, Frank. I hope you're keeping well. What do we need, El Neni, for keeps passing it backwards? Nah, I'll tell you what, Frank. It's probably talking about 2019, before the pandemic, I believe 2018, 2018, 2019. I remember seeing El Neni. I was thinking, El Neni. The guy was lacking the confidence. Actually, a lot of the players, Kolasinac, all those players that I was thinking, guys, get the ball forward. Get the ball forward. And I've got to say, yeah, El Neni was one of those players. I was thinking, we got to get rid of him. Now, he went out to a Turkish club. I can't remember the name of the Turkish club. He came back a completely different player. Completely different player. The guy gets the ball forward. He's one player running and looking to defend the ball, but getting the ball forward. And has scored more goals than Thomas Partey. So I would keep Mohamed El Neni. Does no longer passes the ball backwards. He gets the ball forward. A quick story there. Grealish and Rodri got away again, mate. Yeah, yeah. But you say that, Glenn. But did you not see what's his name? Bernardo Silva on Camavinga. That was he studs on his Achilles. So Bernardo Silva also got away with a nasty one there as well. But yeah. Others love me some Calvin Phillips. I'm thinking that could be an outsider. Forget about Caicedo, who will cost us maybe minimum £19 million. Forget about Declan Rice, minimum £100 million. Calvin Phillips might just be the dark horse. He might be just the player that we need. Won't cost us the salt of the earth. The guy can't get the minutes. I mean, yeah, he's getting minutes. He doesn't get 90 minutes. But you're thinking, I come to Arsenal, stay at Man City. Man City, I know I'm going to win some silverware. Come to Arsenal, I'm still not sure. But Calvin Phillips, maybe. Won't cost the salt. Ralph, Calvin Phillips can come at Arsenal and do the business. He will do a job for us. And you look at the situation, if it is true, a Granit Xhaka or a Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey's got those old legs, man. Old man river legs. Could just about run. But a young Calvin Phillips can defend, can get the ball forward, feed it to the likes of Erdegaard. And what's happened to Emil Smith Rowe? What's happened to Emil Smith Rowe? Glenn Wynn. Anyway, I even go for the Southampton central defensive midfielder Latvia. Won't cost a lot of money. Oneni and Holding are not the best players, but they are good fringe players. You always ask them to do a job, and you never see them on the back of the newspaper, out just partying it, or out on the Raz, just drinking and they are ultimate professionals. You ask them to come and do a job, they never complain. Never complain. I mean, you might say, oh, well, and then there's nothing near a Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is Thomas Partey. Mohamed El Neni is Mohamed El Neni. Rob Holding is Rob Holding. He's not a William Saliba. I understand that. I understand, and he understands that as well. He knows that. But you want to keep those players, like you say, to keep those players there. Jorginho to start for the next two matches. Partey only on to secure any wins. I'll tell you what, no, not for me, Ralph, man. Yeah, and also real players was not honest either. I'll tell you what, man. And tonight I know it's the Milans, isn't it? The Milans in the other semi-finals of the Champions League. Your thoughts on Ward-Prowse? I can't sing. I don't know why this guy has not got more than 10 England caps. Not more than 10 England caps. I mean, with what Southampton have and what they've had, because I get the feeling that maybe they're going to probably get relegated this season, I would nab a Ward-Prowse. a leader of all men. Banging in goals. I think he's probably got the record now for the most goals from set plays, the free kicks. I mean, that right foot, man. A little bit one-sided, but I would buy a Ward-Prowse, man. We need more leaders. Not enough followers. Well, we've got too many followers, but we need more leaders in the squad per se. So I would take a Ward-Prowse. I would. I'm not on Calvin Phillips. He's got to want to come to Arsenal, of course. Pep won't let go unless he has 2 or 3 replacements. And yeah, there's also been about well, Pep doesn't get rid of his star players, does he? Doesn't get rid of his star players. He keeps his star players. But Calvin Phillips is not a star player, Ralph. You got to understand that. He gets a few minutes here, there, yeah, but a steady 90 minutes, he does not get 90 minutes, which might lead a pathway to Arsenal. Just saying. He's a through and through saint, but surely he wants to end his career on a high to get more England caps. Of course. I'm not even sure how old he is. Towards probably late 20s, mid to late 20s, I believe. But the guy, man, knowing how Southampton are, with the limited resources that they have, and they are the bottom 3 now. Again, we could go in there and say, you know what? We want you to play for Arsenal. Come and play for Arsenal. Because if you get relegated, your England career, well, it will be unsustainable. But I would have a Mr. Ward-Prowse. Definitely. Now you're talking Ward-Prowse. When it comes to free kicks, absolutely. Absolutely. When you talk about, playing football, man, from my memory, you always knew who was going to take the free kicks. You always knew who were going to take the corners. And you always knew who was going to take the penalty. That's bog standard. And so with Arsenal, I'm still thinking, well, who should take the penalties? Who's taking the corners? Who's taking the free kicks? Anyway, let's wrap this one up, people. A controversial question. Tielemans has been talked about to the end of the earth. What about him? No. I think that boat has already that sailed into the distance. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened summer. It would have happened in the January transfer window. And it's rather interesting. There's certain players you hear get talked about over and over and over again. When we signed Ramsdale, he wasn't talked about, was he? When we signed Tomiyasu, that was a surprise signing, wasn't it? So when you hear players are talked about over and over again in the transfer window, most likely it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Look at Hossam. I spoke about him 2 seasons ago in the transfer windows. Over and over and Hossam. And all of a sudden it was Thomas Partey. And who did we sign? Thomas Partey. So Youri Tielemans, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I never took free kicks because when you're a goalkeeper, and corners are due to my height. But you were a goalkeeper, weren't you? I think. And that's how life started for me. I was a goalkeeper, and then they assigned me to left back in the changing rooms. Emma Smith Rowe being trained for Shaka Rowe. Yeah, is he? And that's another player that Apollo spoke about. But in a number 8 role, I tell you what, Emma Smith Rowe, his tackling defensive dude that's not his his strengths. Being able to tackle and defend, that's not Smith. Play to his strengths. What do I know? Oh, right, I played as a striker, as a midfielder and striker. Well, the furthest I got up the pitch was midfield. So Alex, don't get beyond the halfway line. Just stay on this side. Don't get beyond yourself. Stay there. So, right. Okay. Thank you for that. I think when Arsenal taking corners, and free kicks, they should consider employing a 6 foot plus defender. Well, what do you mean to take the free kicks? Well, I mean, several Magalians and Saliba and Ben White are all over 6 foot. So I'm not sure. I don't understand what you mean. To consider employing. I don't understand what you mean, Ralph. I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. But this is what I'm talking about. We have come to an end on this show here. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the numbers of people who were coming and some new names there that I didn't not recognised. But that's all good. It's all good. That is that on the day that we find out that KSE, yeah, Cronky man, that club. What was it? Colorado Rapids, using that as a pathway to bring players over to Europe, and eventually that they sign for Arsenal. How do you guys feel about that? Why do we have the academy then? Why do we have the academy? And then Paul Merson spoke about Jorginho. He thinks that Jorginho should start the last 3 games. Forget about Thomas Partey, man. Start Jorginho. It's not about doing crossovers or footovers or whatever, those tricks. It's about finding and passing the ball to your teammate. As simple as that. And then we spoke about Granit Xhaka. He has some decisions to make, man. Yeah, some serious decisions. When the wife says, you know what, she wants out. Not as in divorce. I mean, she wants to move to another country, go back to the original country. Granit Xhaka, man. Now, if you want to talk about it, just give me a call. My number is 079. Oh, yeah. I'd like to give you my number, man. I'll give you the email. Yeah, arsenalrepublic1@gmail.com. Granit Xhaka, send me an email, and I'll be there for you, man. I'll be there for you. We can talk about our experiences. My wife, at some points, wants to go back and live in Colombia, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. All right. There's people coming with some more comments, man. I want to end the show. All right, so Gunnar says, I started as a goalkeeper, defender, midfield, and striker all over the pitch. When we train, comparing, when we play, it seems that all our free kicks doesn't go past the first man, hence taller players in set pieces and set plays. I gotcha. Understood. Anyhow, people, we're finishing this one. Look out, stand by. One tongue soup is just coming now. One tongue, we're about to wrap up the show, man. About to wrap up the show. Goodness gracious me. Right, so One Tongue says, even Alex, thoughts on Romero Lafia. He would be way better value for money than Declan Rice, considering Southampton are being relegated. Yeah, but we also spoke about Calvin Phillips. Can't get in the starting 11. Can't get the starting 11 at Man City. He's the backup of the backup of the backup. He wouldn't cost us £120 million. Declan Rice, Caicedo, £90 million. Why not Calvin Phillips? But yeah, why not Romero and Lafia? Why not? But wouldn't cost us a lot of money. Haha, yes. All right, we are finished. Sorry, One Tongue, man. I'm out of here, man. So look out tomorrow for a Thursday night football show with Ange and the Merry People on Thursday night show, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow, it's going to be Brighton women versus Arsenal women. Yeah, the Super League, Women's Super League. Check that out. And on Friday, that's still yet to be confirmed whether I can do the East Talk, because I'm expecting to be speaking and meeting some people who's travelled a long way to come and see me and talk to me. Anyhow. Enjoy the remnants of your evening or your afternoon or your night, because I don't know, you might be on that part of the world. If on that part of the world, then surely it might be, I don't know, North Central South Asia, China, Japan, Australia, which means you're probably sleeping. It's on that side of the planet, stateside, North Central South America, which means it's your early afternoon. If you're somewhere stuck in the middle with me, God help you. God help you. Anyhow, this has been Canon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.